Okay, guys, let's go through the rest as well. Let's zoom it. Why should I use Amazon VPC? Amazon VPC enables you to build a virtual network in the AWS cloud, which is obvious. No VPNs, hardware, or physical data centers required. You don't need to set up anything. You can define your own network space and control how your network and the Amazon EC2 instance inside your network are exposed to the internet. You can also leverage the enhanced security options in Amazon VPC to provide more granular access to and from Amazon EC2 instances in your virtual network. How do I get started with the Amazon VPC? Your AWS resources are automatically provisioned in a ready to use default VPC. You can choose to create additional VPCs by going to Amazon VPC page in the management console and selecting Start VPC Wizard. You'll be presented with four network architectures. After selecting an options, you can modify the size and the IP address range of the VPC and its subnets. If you select an options with hardware VPN access, you will need to specify the IP address of the VPN hardware on your network. You can modify the VPC to add or remove the secondary IP ranges and gateways, or add more subnets to IP ranges. The four options. Amazon VPC is a single subnet only. Amazon VPC is public and private subnets. Amazon VPC public and private subnets, and AWS site-to-site VPN access. Amazon VPC with a private subnet only and AWS site-to-site VPN access. What are the different types of VPC endpoints available on Amazon VPC? VPC endpoints enable you to privately connect to a VPC to services hosted on AWS without requiring an internet gateway, a NAT device, a VPN, or firewall proxies. Endpoints are horizontally scalable and highly available virtual network devices that allow communication between instances in your VPC and AWS services. Amazon VPC offers two different types of endpoints: gateway type endpoints and interface type endpoints. Gateway type endpoints are available only for AWS services including Amazon S3 and DynamoDB. These endpoints will add an entry point to a route table you selected and route the traffic to the supported services through Amazon private network. Interface types endpoints provide private connectivity to services powered by private link, being AWS services, your own service OS or SaaS solutions, and support connectivity over direct connect. More AWS SaaS solutions and SaaS solution will be supported by these endpoints in the future. Please refer to the VPC pricing for the price of interface type endpoints. Billing. How will I be charged and billed for my use of Amazon VPC? There are no additional charges for creating and using VPC itself. Usage charges for the Amazon Web services, including Amazon EC2, still apply at published rates for the resources, including data transfer charges. If you connect to a VPC to a corporate data center using optional hardware VPN connection, pricing is per VPN connection hour. The amount of time you have an VPN connection in the available state. Partial hours are billed as full hours. Data transfer over VPN connection will be charged at a standard AWS data transfer rates. For VPC VPN pricing information, please visit pricing section of the Amazon VPC product page. What usage charges will I incur if I use other AWS services such as Amazon S3 from Amazon EC2 instance in my VPC? Usage charges for the Amazon Web Services, including Amazon EC2, still apply at published rates for those resources. Data transfer charges are not incurred when accessing Amazon Web Services such as Amazon S3 via your VPC's Internet Gateway. If you access AWS resource via an VPN connection, you will incur Internet data transfer charges. What are the connectivity options for my Amazon VPC? You may connect your Amazon VPC to the internet via an Internet Gateway, your corporate data center using an AWS site-to-site VPN connection via the virtual private gateway, both internet and your corporate data center, utilizing both an internet gateway and a virtual private gateway. Other AWS services via internet gateway, NAT, virtual private gateway, or VPC endpoints. Other VPCs via VPC pairings. How do I connect my VPC to the internet? Amazon VPC supports the creation of an internet gateway. Amazon VPC supports the creation of an internet gateway. This gateway enables Amazon EC2 instances in the VPC to directly access the internet. You can also use an egress only internet gateway, which is a stateful gateway to provide egress only access for IPv6 traffic from VPC to the internet. Are there any bandwidth limitation for internet gateways? Do I need to be concerned about its availability? Can it be a single point of failure? No. An internet gateway is horizontally scaled, redundant, and highly available. It imposes no bandwidth constraints. How do instances in a VPC access internet? You can use a public IP addresses, including elastic IP address (EIPs) and IPv6 global unique addresses, to give instances in the VPC the ability to both directly communicate outbound to the internet and to receive unsolicited inbound traffic from the internet. You can also use solutions in the next questions. When is an IP address considered a public IP address? Any IP address that is assigned to an instance or service hosted in a VPC that can be accessed over the internet is considered a public IP address. Only public IP addresses, including elastic IP addresses and IPv6 GUA, can be routable on the internet. To do so, you would need to first connect the VPC to the internet and then update the route table to make them reachable to or from the internet. When is an IP address considered a public IP address? Any IP address that is assigned to an instance or service hosted in a VPC that can be accessed over the internet is considered a public IP address. Only public addresses, including elastic IP addresses and IPv6 GUA, can be routable on the internet. To do so, you would need to first connect to the VPC to the internet and then update the route table to make them reachable from the internet. How do instances without public IP addresses access the internet? Instances without public IP addresses can access the internet in one of the two ways. Instances without public IP addresses can route their traffic through a NAT gateway or NAT instance to the internet. These instances use public IP address of the NAT gateway or NAT instance to traverse the internet. The NAT gateway or NAT instance allows outbound communication but doesn't allow machines on the internet to initiate a connection privately addressed to the. So you can go out but you can't communicate inside. For VPC with a hardware VPN connection or direct connections, instances can route their internet traffic down the virtual private gateway to your existing data center. From there, it can access the internet via your existing egress points and network security or monitoring devices. Can I connect to my VPC using a software VPN? Yes. You may use a third-party software VPN to create a site-to-site or remote access VPN connection with your VPC via the internet gateway. Does traffic go over the internet when two instances communicate using public IP addresses or when instances communicate with a public AWS endpoint? No. When using public IP addresses, all communication between instances and services hosted in AWS use AWS private network. Packets that originate from AWS network with the destination on the AWS network stay on the global network except traffic to or from AWS China regions. In addition, all data flowing across the AWS global network that interconnects our data centers and regions is automatically encrypted and at physical layer before it leaves our secured facilities. Additional encryption layers exist as well. For example, all VPC cross-sections, cross-region peering traffic, and customer or service to the transport layer security connections. How does an AWS site-to-site VPN connection work with Amazon VPC? An AWS site-to-site VPN connection connects your VPC to your data center. Amazon supports Internet Protocol Security VPN connections. Data transferred between your VPC and data routes over an encrypted VPN. Data transferred between your VPC and data center routes over an encrypted VPN connection to help maintain the confidentiality and integrity of data in transit. An internet gateway is required to establish an AWS site-to-site VPN connection. Yes, that's so.